I was filing expense reports at 9:47 p.m. when my phone buzzed and my life quietly cracked open. Adam, my manager said when I answered, voice tight, formal. Miss Sterling wants to see you, now. I stared at the spreadsheet on my screen, numbers swimming. It's late, she said immediately. Those words meant one thing in this building: trouble. I shut down my computer, grabbed my jacket, rode the elevator to the top floor alone. Every second upward felt like a countdown. Luna Sterling didn't summon people after hours unless something was bleeding. Her office door was open. She stood by the window, city lights carving her into sharp angles. Luna never sat when power was involved. "You're late," she said without turning. "I called 5 minutes ago. Still late." I swallowed. "You wanted to see me?" She faced me then. Cool eyes, perfect posture. The woman who had dismantled 3 executives in one board meeting and smiled while doing it. "Sit," she said. I didn't. She studied me, head tilted. "You're a single father." "Yes." "You have a 7-year-old son." "Yes." "Your wife died." My jaw tightened. "Why are you listing my life?" "Because I don't make offers blind." That word landed wrong. Offers. She walked to her desk and slid a folder toward me. Thick, legal, heavy. "I need you to pretend to be my husband for 1 year," she said calmly. The room went silent. I laughed once, sharp and stupid. "That's not funny." "I'm not joking." I stared at her. "You're my boss." "Yes." "This is wildly inappropriate." "Yes." I pushed the folder back. "No." She didn't touch it. "Your mortgage is 3 months behind." My chest went tight. "You ran my credit?" "I ran your survival odds." Anger flared. "You don't get to—" "Your son's school tuition is overdue. Your medical bills from last winter are in collections, and your promotion was blocked today." That hit harder. "By who?" "My brother." I froze. "Julian Sterling?" She nodded. "He's staging a board challenge. He needs proof I'm unstable, unmarried, vulnerable." I shook my head. "So you pick me?" "You're invisible, competent, clean record, and desperate enough to listen." That word again. Desperate. I stood there breathing through my teeth. What exactly does pretending mean? Public appearances, living arrangements, a shared narrative. I stared at her. "You want me to move in?" "Yes." "Share a bed?" She paused just a second. "Separate rooms." I laughed again, hollow. "This is insane." "Insane is losing everything," she said softly. "This is strategy." I thought of Ethan sleeping on my sister's couch, of eviction notices, of pretending strength every morning. "And when the year is over?" I asked. "We divorce quietly," she said. "You walk away debt-free." "How?" She slid a second page forward. Numbers stared back at me. Too many zeros. My hands shook. "You can't buy people," she said. "I'm not buying you. I'm offering mutual protection." I looked up. "And if I say no?" She met my eyes. "Then Julian wins, and you won't last 6 months here." Silence pressed in. "This ruins my life," I whispered. She stepped closer. "No," she said. "It saves it." I thought of Ethan, of pride, of how tired I was of drowning quietly. I picked up the pen. "When does this start?" I asked. Her expression didn't change, but something eased behind her eyes. "Tonight," she said. By the time I signed the last page, my hand ached like I'd been gripping a lifeline too tightly. Luna took the folder from me without ceremony. "You'll regret this less if you don't overthink it." "That's optimistic," I muttered. She pressed a button on her desk. "Mara." The door opened immediately. A woman in a charcoal suit stepped in, eyes sharp, expression neutral. She glanced at me once, then at Luna. "It's done?" Mara asked. "Yes," Luna said. "Initiate phase 1. Phase 1 of my fake marriage." Mara handed me a small black box. "Congratulations," she said dryly. "You're engaged." I opened it. A ring stared back at me. Simple, elegant, probably worth more than my car. "You expect me to wear this to bed?" I asked. Luna didn't blink. "You'll get used to discomfort." Mara slid a tablet toward me. "Your new identity package. Photos, shared history, public milestones. You met Luna at a charity gala 3 years ago. You proposed in Prague." "I've never been to Prague." "You have now," Mara said. My phone buzzed. A new contact appeared. Luna Sterling, wife. I let out a breath. This is happening fast. "It has to," Luna said. "Julian already suspects something. He'll test you." "Test me how?" The office door opened without knocking. A man walked in like he owned the building, which apparently he half did. Tall, expensive suit, smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Luna," he said warmly, "working late again?" Her jaw tightened slightly. "Julian." His gaze slid to me. "And you are?" I straightened. "Adam Bennett." He smiled wider. "Of course you are." Luna stepped closer to me. Her hand slipped into mine, cool and deliberate. My pulse jumped like it had been waiting for permission. "My fiancé," she said. Julian's eyebrows lifted. "Fiancé? Surprised?" "Delighted," he said. "I didn't know you were the settling down type." "I didn't know you knocked," she replied. He chuckled, then leaned in closer, voice dropping. "Careful, Adam. The Sterling family is demanding." I met his stare. I'm good under pressure. For a second, something sharp flickered behind his smile. "Good," he said. "You'll need to be." He left as abruptly as he had arrived. The room exhaled. "He'll dig," I said. "He always does," Luna replied. "That's why you're moving in tonight." I blinked. Tonight? "Yes. I need to get my son." Mara nodded. "A car is waiting. Your belongings are already being packed." I stared at her. "You packed my apartment?" "Lease violations, black mold, unsafe." Luna met my eyes. "I won't risk your child." That stopped me cold. The penthouse didn't feel real. Glass walls, quiet, space that echoed with money. Ethan pressed his face to the window, awed. "Dad, are we rich?" I laughed softly. "No, buddy, we're visiting." Luna knelt in front of him. "You must be Ethan," she said gently. He studied her. "Are you my stepmom?" I froze. She hesitated, then smiled. "I'm someone who wants you to feel safe." He nodded, apparently satisfied. Later, when Ethan was asleep in the guest room, Luna and I stood in the hallway, too close, too aware. "Ground rules," I said. "Of course. No lies to my son." "Agreed. No intimacy." She paused. "Understood. And if this gets dangerous—" "It already is," she said quietly. "But I'll protect you." I looked at her, really looked at her. "For 1 year," I said. "For 1 year," she echoed. She turned to leave, then stopped. "Adam." "Yes?" "Thank you." I didn't answer. I just watched her walk away, the weight of the ring heavy on my finger, and wondered what I'd just married myself into. I woke up at 2:13 a.m., convinced I didn't belong there. The ceiling above me was smooth, white, uncracked, no water stain shaped like a continent, no hum of the neighbor's broken AC, just silence so clean it made my ears ring. I sat up and rubbed my face. "Get it together," I whispered to myself. The door creaked. I turned just as Luna stepped into the room, hair loose for the first time, blazer gone, silk blouse slightly wrinkled like she'd forgotten to take armor off. "Your son had a nightmare," she said quietly. My chest tightened instantly. "Is he okay?" "He's fine. He asked for you. Then he asked if monsters could reach the top floor." I swung my legs out of bed. "I should go to him." She nodded, then hesitated. "He asked if you and I sleep in the same room." I froze. "He did?" "Yes,
He said, "Mom and Dad sleep together. That's how monsters stay away." The word dad hit me harder than it should have. I ran a hand through my hair. "He's been through a lot. So have you," she said. We stood there, the air thick with things neither of us wanted to say. "There's a second bed," she added, gesturing behind her, "in the master." I stared at her. "You're suggesting—"
"I'm suggesting," she cut in, voice controlled but quiet, "that we act married when it matters." I exhaled slowly. "We said no intimacy." "This isn't intimacy," she said. "It's optics and comfort for him." I closed my eyes for a second, then nodded. "Let me tuck him back in." Ethan clung to me like I'd almost disappeared. I sat with him until his breathing evened out, until his fingers loosened from my shirt. When I turned back, Luna was waiting in the hallway. "So," I said, forcing a half smile, "we're sharing a bed?" She lifted a brow. "You sound thrilled." "I sound terrified." "Good," she said. "So am I." The master bedroom was enormous, the bed even more so. King-sized, neutral, impersonal, like no one had ever truly rested there. We stood on opposite sides like it was a negotiation table. "I won't touch you," I said. "I wasn't worried," she replied. I snorted. "Liar." She almost smiled. Lights off. Darkness. The mattress dipped when she lay down. I lay stiff as a board, staring at the ceiling again. Minutes passed. "Adam," she said softly. "Yeah." "Do you hate me?" The question caught me off guard. "No." "Resent me?" "I don't know you well enough for that," I said, "but I don't trust you." "That's fair." Silence again. "My brother will come for you next," she said quietly. "He tests loyalty by pressure." "I can handle pressure." "I believe you think that," she said. I turned my head. "Why me?" She didn't answer right away. "Because you look like someone who still believes in doing the right thing, even when it hurts." I swallowed. "That's not a compliment." "It is to me." I rolled onto my side, careful not to touch her. "I'm doing this for my son." "I know," she said. "That's why I chose you." Sleep came slowly, uneasily. In the morning, I woke to small fingers tapping my arm. "Dad," Ethan whispered loudly. "She snores." I bit my lip to keep from laughing. "Groan. I do not snore." "Yes, you do," Ethan said proudly, "like a tiny dragon." She opened one eye, looked at him, then at me. "You're never letting this go, are you?" "Nope," I said. Something shifted then. Small, dangerous, warm. And for the first time since signing that contract, I thought, this might ruin me in ways money can't fix. The first crack showed up over breakfast. Ethan was happily destroying a stack of pancakes when Luna walked in wearing a fitted gray dress and her public face, perfect hair, perfect spine, CEO armor locked back in place. "Good morning," she said, crisp. Ethan frowned. "Why are you talking like that?" She paused. "Like what?" "The TV people. You were nicer last night." My coffee stalled halfway to my mouth. Luna glanced at me, something flickering behind her eyes. She crouched down in front of him, voice softer. "I forget sometimes. Thank you for telling me." He nodded, satisfied, and went back to eating. When she stood, she didn't look at me. "Your son is observant," I said. "He doesn't miss much." "Neither does my brother," she said. The car ride to work was silent until she spoke. "Julian invited us to dinner." I turned. "Us?" "Married couples appear together," she said. "He'll provoke. You'll need to stay calm." "Define calm." She almost smiled. "Don't punch him." "I make no promises." Dinner was a performance. Julian's house was warm, curated, fake-friendly. His wife smiled too much. His questions were knives wrapped in silk. "So, Adam," Julian said, swirling his wine, "how did you meet my sister?" I recited Prague, charity gala, fate. He nodded. "Funny,
Luna hates charity events. I hated them, she corrected. Then I met Adam. His gaze sharpened. Love changes people. Yes, she said, it does. On the drive home, she let out a breath like she'd been holding it all night. You did well, she said. I hate him. Everyone does, she replied. Eventually. Later, when Ethan was asleep again, Luna poured 2 glasses of wine and handed me one. To surviving, I said. To lying convincingly. She leaned against the counter. Do you ever regret telling the truth? All the time, I said. You? Her fingers tightened around the glass. I learned early that honesty is expensive. I studied her. What happened? She hesitated. Then quietly, my mother stayed with my father after he ruined us. She believed loyalty mattered more than safety. And you don't? I believe survival comes first. That explained so much it hurt. I used to think love meant endurance, staying even when it breaks you. She looked at me then, really looked. And now? I now think love should choose you back. Her throat bobbed. For a second, the distance between us felt fragile, like one wrong word could shatter it or erase it. I won't betray you, I said suddenly. Not for him, not for anyone. She nodded once. I need to believe that. As she walked away, I realized something dangerous. I wasn't just pretending anymore, and I didn't know how to stop. The first warning came from my bank. I was standing in the break room staring at burnt coffee when my phone buzzed. Payment pending, account under review. My stomach dropped. I called immediately. There has to be a mistake. There isn't, the woman said, bored and efficient. We received a request for verification of marital assets. Temporary freeze. Standard procedure. Requested by who? There was a pause. Sterling Holdings. I hung up slowly. That night, I waited until Ethan was asleep before I confronted Luna. She was in her study, heels kicked off, reading something on her tablet like nothing in the world was wrong. Did you authorize a freeze on my accounts? I asked. She looked up. What? My bank, Sterling Holdings, requested verification. You didn't tell me. Her brow furrowed. I didn't request anything. Someone using your authority did. She stood. Julian. Or you, I said before I could stop myself. The air went still. Her expression didn't harden, it fractured. You think I'd do that? I think you've been 3 steps ahead since the beginning, and I think I'm the only one not reading the fine print. She took a breath. Adam, listen to me. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I stepped back, answered. Hello? Mr. Bennett, Julian's voice said smoothly. We need to talk. Luna went pale. I'm busy, I said. I don't think you are, he replied. Check your email. I did. A document stared back at me. Screenshots, internal memos, a contingency plan with my name highlighted as expendable assets. My hands shook. Luna. She crossed the room, reading fast. This is forged. I think it is forged, I said, because it looks real and it explains a lot. Julian's voice hummed in my ear. Your collateral, Adam. She needed someone disposable, someone she could sacrifice if the board turned. Luna grabbed the phone. You're lying, he laughed. Am I? Check Appendix C. She did. Her silence was worse than a confession. I didn't create that, she said finally, but I knew there was a possibility. That you'd burn me, I finished. Her voice broke. To save the company. And my son? I asked. Was he part of the calculation?
She flinched. No, Julian chuckled. I can make this all go away, he said. Debt erased, custody secured. All you have to do is nothing when the vote happens. I closed my eyes. Luna whispered, Don't. I pictured Ethan's face, his small hand in mine, safety, stability. I need time, I said. Julian smiled through the phone. You have until morning. The line went dead. Luna stood in front of me, eyes wet, pride stripped bare.
I never meant for you to see that." "That's worse," I said quietly. I walked past her, into the dark hallway, and realized something cold and final. I had never been the husband. I had always been the exit plan. The board meeting started at 9 sharp. By 9:05, Luna was already losing. I stood against the back wall with the other non-essentials, suit too tight, throat dry, watching the woman I'd shared a bed with sit alone at the long glass table. Her spine was straight, her face unreadable. If you didn't know her, you'd think she was winning. I knew better. Julian paced as he spoke, voice calm, confident, rehearsed. "This isn't personal," he said. "It's about stability, about protecting shareholders from reckless leadership." Luna didn't interrupt. That was the first mistake. Slides appeared, emails, projections, carefully curated chaos. "And finally," Julian said, glancing back at her, "the matter of the CEO's personal judgment." The screen changed. Photos of us, entering buildings, holding hands, Ethan between us. My chest tightened. "A rushed marriage," Julian continued, "a clear conflict of interest. And when internal safeguards were triggered, assets were quietly shifted." Murmurs rippled through the room. Luna stood. "That last claim is false." Julian smiled. "Then explain the freeze on Mr. Bennett's accounts." All eyes turned to me. I didn't move. Luna looked back at me, just for a second. There was something in her eyes I hadn't seen before. Fear. "I didn't authorize it," she said. "This is manipulation." "Then why," Julian asked gently, "is his name listed as collateral in your contingency plans?" Silence. The document appeared, Appendix C, the one I'd seen at midnight, the one she hadn't denied knowing about. Luna's lips parted, closed. That pause was enough. The vote was quick, brutal, clean. Interim leadership assigned. Luna Sterling removed, effective immediately. The gavel hit the table. Just like that, she was done. Security approached her before she even gathered her tablet. "Miss Sterling," one of them said, apologetic, "we'll escort you out." She nodded once. "Of course." As she passed me, she didn't stop, didn't speak, didn't look. That hurt more than anything Julian had done. By noon, her access was revoked. By 1, the news broke. By 2, my inbox was a graveyard of unread messages and silent judgments. By 5, my keycard didn't work. I packed my desk under supervision. "Mr. Bennett," HR said carefully, "you're not under investigation, but your position is no longer viable." I laughed under my breath. That's one way to put it. I got home to the penthouse to find it half empty. Her things were gone, closet bare, bathroom stripped. The room felt like a hotel after checkout. Ethan looked up from the couch. "Where's Luna?" I swallowed. "She had to go away for work." "Oh," he said, then frowned. "Did she lose?" I sat beside him. "Yeah, buddy, she did." That night, I slept on the couch. My phone buzzed at midnight. Unknown number. I answered without speaking. "She let you fall," Julian said softly. "I told you she would." I stared at the ceiling. "You wanted her gone," he replied. "I wanted what's mine, and now it is." "And me?" I asked. A pause. "You're free. Debt cleared by morning. Custody untouched. You did nothing. Exactly as agreed." I closed my eyes. "You'll thank me someday." The call ended. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just lay there in the dark, listening to my son breathe down the hall, and understood the truth I'd been avoiding. Luna Sterling didn't lose because she was weak. She lost because she trusted the wrong people. And so had I. The debt vanished by morning. I knew because my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Notifications, emails, apologies wrapped in cheerful language. Account restored. Balance cleared. Congratulations. Julian kept his promises. That should have scared me more than it did.
I made Ethan breakfast like everything was normal. Toast, eggs, too much butter. He talked about a science project. I nodded in the right places, smiled when he smiled, and felt something hard settle in my chest. I wasn't supposed to fight back. I was supposed to take the win and disappear. After I dropped Ethan at school, I sat in the car and stared at the building until the bell rang. Then I drove somewhere I hadn't planned to go. Mara Klein's office. She looked surprised to see me. "You shouldn't be here." "I know," I said. "That's why I am." She studied my face for a long moment, then closed the door. "You have 5 minutes." "I want the truth," I said, "not the version everyone's repeating." She sighed. Julian accelerated the timeline. He forced the board before Luna finished securing votes. And Appendix C? A contingency, drafted under pressure, never finalized, but real enough to destroy her. Yes. I leaned forward. And real enough to destroy him. Her eyes flicked up. "What do you mean?" "I mean, he forged authorization on my accounts. He impersonated her authority. That's a serious accusation. I have timestamps, bank logs, calls." She went still. "You're not disposable anymore, Adam," she said quietly. "You're dangerous." That word felt strange, heavy, right. "I don't want revenge," I said. "I want balance." Mara considered me. Then she opened a drawer and slid a flash drive across the desk. "Julian records everything," she said. "Insurance. He forgot one thing." "What?" "Luna taught him how." I left before she could change her mind. That night, after Ethan was asleep, I listened. Julian's voice filled the room, confident, cruel, laughing. "She'll fold," he said on one recording. "Bennett, collateral. Don't worry about him." Another, "Once she's out, the board will beg me to clean up." I turned it off and sat in the dark. I wasn't angry anymore. I was clear. The next morning, I sent 3 emails, one to a board member who hesitated during the vote, one to a journalist Julian underestimated, one to Luna. "I know what he did. I'm not done." Her reply came an hour later. "Neither am I." For the first time since the fall, I smiled. Julian thought he'd won because I stayed quiet. He didn't realize I'd been listening.
Julian went on television that night, calm, polished, dismissive. I listened to him lie while Ethan did homework at the kitchen table. "Dad," Ethan said without looking up, "why do grown-ups lie so much?" I swallowed. "Because telling the truth costs them things they're afraid to lose." "Like what?" "Control," I said. The second article hit a week later, leaked audio, contextualized, carefully framed. Executives began stepping down, quietly, one by one. Julian called me that night. "You think you're clever, playing hero." "I'm not a hero," I replied. "I'm a witness." He laughed. "She's using you again." I glanced at Luna across the room, reading documents, focused, steady. "No," I said. "This time, I chose." Silence. "She'll never trust you," he snapped. "Not fully." "Neither will I said. "That's how this works." The board reconvened under pressure. Regulators asked questions. Shareholders panicked. Julian's wife filed for separation. That one surprised him. Luna stood beside me when the third article dropped. Not touching, not distant, just present. "This ends badly for him," I said. "Yes, but cleanly. That matters." I looked at her. "Do you regret trusting me?" She met my eyes. "I regret not trusting you sooner." That night, as I tucked Ethan into bed, he yawned and asked, "Is Luna coming back?" I paused. "I don't know." "I hope she does," he said sleepily. "She makes the bad dreams stop."
I turned off the light and stood there longer than necessary. Karma didn't knock. It didn't announce itself. It just waited until Julian Sterling had nowhere left to stand. The reminder came by email at exactly 8 in the morning. Marriage contract, term completion notice. 1 year, down to the minute. I stared at the screen longer than I should have, coffee going cold in my hand. For months, everything had been on pause. My anger, my fear, my heart, because there was always an endpoint, a clause, a deadline. Now it was here. Luna arrived an hour later. No entourage, no headlines, just her, standing in the doorway of the penthouse like she wasn't sure she was allowed inside. "I can come back later," she said. "No," I replied too quickly. "It's fine." She nodded, stepped in, glanced around. "You didn't change anything." Didn't feel right. We sat across from each other at the dining table. No lawyers, no Mara, just silence pressing in from all sides. "The board vote is tomorrow. They'll reinstate me." "I know. I wanted you to hear it from me, not the news." I nodded. "Congratulations." Her mouth tightened. "That's not why I'm here." I waited. "The contract is over," she said softly. "You're free. If you want to leave, I'll make sure everything stays settled. No retaliation, no strings." I laughed under my breath. "You sound like you're firing me." She flinched. "I'm trying not to trap you." I stood, pacing. Do you know how many times I told myself this wasn't real? That it was all pretend? That the way you look at Ethan, the way you remember how I take my coffee, that it was strategy? Her voice broke. "Adam, I signed up to be collateral. I didn't sign up to be chosen." She stood too, hands shaking. "Then let me choose you now." The words hung between us, fragile and terrifying. Before I could answer, my phone rang. "Julian." Luna went still. "Don't answer it." I did anyway. "What do you want?" He said, "I want you to know," voice thin, sharp around the edges, "that I'm not done." "You're finished," I said. "Everyone knows." He laughed, brittle. "They know what you let them know. There's one last file, one last story about how the great Luna Sterling manipulated a grieving widower." I closed my eyes, let it go. He said, "Meet me tonight or I burn everything." The line went dead. Luna stared at me. "He's bluffing." I said, "He doesn't know how." I grabbed my jacket. "Adam," she said, stepping in front of me, "you don't owe me this." I looked at her, really looked. No contract, no obligation. "I know," I said. "I'm choosing it." Her eyes filled. She stepped aside. As I walked out, one thought settled heavy and certain in my chest. The contract might be over, but this wasn't. Julian chose the rooftop because he always liked height, control, perspective, the illusion that he could see everything coming. I arrived just before midnight. The city spread below us like a living thing, bright, loud, uncaring. Julian stood near the edge, coat fluttering, hands shoved into his pockets like he was cold. "You came," he said, almost surprised. "I always do. That's been my problem." He turned, face drawn, eyes red-shot. "You think this ends with me losing?" I said, "It already has." He laughed softly. "You're naive. I still have leverage." I said, "You don't. You think you do, but you don't." I held up my phone. "The last file? I already have it. You sent it to the wrong server. Same arrogance, different night." His smile faltered. "That's impossible." I said, "You taught me something. People like you only win when others stay quiet." He stepped closer. "If you release that, you destroy her." I shook my head. "No, it destroys you." He stared at me, realization sinking in like a slow leak. You love her. I didn't hesitate. Yes. That word ended him. By morning, Julian Sterling resigned. By noon, charges followed. By evening, his name was a cautionary tale whispered in boardrooms. Luna was reinstated without applause. She didn't need it. I watched from the back of the room when she addressed the board, calm, clear, untouchable. When her eyes found mine, there was no power there, just choice. That night, we stood in the penthouse one last time. The ring sat on the counter between us. You don't have to stay, she said, not because of him, not because of me. I picked up the ring, turned it in my fingers. Do you want me to? Yes, she said, not as a strategy, not as protection. I set the ring back down. Then I will, but not like before. She nodded. I don't want before. Ethan padded into the room, rubbing his eyes. Are we okay? I kneeled in front of him. Yeah, buddy, we are. He looked at Luna. You staying? She smiled, tears finally falling. If you'll have me. He considered this seriously, then nodded. Okay, but no more dragon snoring. She laughed, real and unguarded. Later, when the lights were off and the city hummed below us, Luna reached for my hand. No contracts, no clauses, just skin and warmth. I didn't choose you because you were safe, she said quietly. I chose you because you were brave. I squeezed her hand. I didn't stay because you were powerful. Why did you stay? She asked. Because you chose me back. For the first time in a year, nothing felt borrowed, nothing felt temporary. I wasn't traded. I was chosen.